Good evening, guys. I'm Marco. This is Mongrel Radio.
That was such a kind intro for such an intense music thing. We got to work on that, Marcos. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm going to let you do it, Marcos. You're in the captain seat today.
I'm really captain, like, pointing, and then, like, we're going that way, but that's, like, about the extent of what I'm doing today, and that's fine. But, yeah, this was Tommy's second topic for this. You just jumped right into, like, oh, yeah, we're doing politics.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you got to get some stuff off your chest when it comes to politics. It can build and, you know.
Well, you were kind of already
happening right now.
Actually, this week was kind of a quiet week politically. Like,
I mean, if you're not looking, but it's shit happening every
Texas has ruined everything as usual.
What do we do?
More guns, no abortions?
That's not, the second one isn't final yet, and it won't hold up in the Supreme Court.
Of course it won't, but for the time being, that's a critical
Guns
time.
is fine, though. Guns is great.
Guns is, shut the fuck up.
Both of those are pretty normal for Texas, to be
Normal for
honest.
Texas is insane to everyone else, including Florida, and that means something.
I mean,
no, Florida's still another.
level.
Actually, Florida had like
Don't you
behind the
dare.
scenes press in their legislature, which is also equally awful. But hey, everybody, this is Mongrel Radio. We still got to do the
Political,
intros,
so
Marco.
it's fine.
It's a political show, man, and we got to let the people know who they are, and we are, and they are, and all the people out there. We got to let everyone know because. Yeah, they listen, but a lot of people are going to be new because we're putting a lot of effort into the rebranding and the recomeuppance of the Mexcellence.
Welcome, everyone.
So look at there. See, nobody knows her voice. Last time it was a year ago, and they were
It
asking.
was not a year ago. It was like 2 years
it
ago.
was so long
It was at
ago.
the old place, yeah.
Yeah.
So, point is,
You were filming this out of a dumpster and
it was
a closet.
Don't make fun of Don
I sat on the floor
was
during
rough.
recordings.
it was rough.
It was a little bit rough, but here we are
But
back.
I do stand corrected. Sam is right. I do have to welcome everybody. My name is Marco. I'm the host. This is my show. Nothing happens without the guy across from me, who is
Tommy McGrew. Oh my God!
Me before you.
Kill.
Huh?
Kill with kindness because he called me ugly in the pre-show. If
I called you
didn't-
hideous.
Oh, hideous. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, introduce yourself, Tommy.
Oh, Tommy McGrew.
Yes, and Sammy Gonzalez taking over the spotlight for everyone. And joining us in our fourth special rotating seat for Mongrel Radio, we have Marco's girlfriend, just Jess.
Jessica.
But I wanted Jess on because one is a new setup and I didn't know how to work the cameras, and two,
she's the only one that does TikTok.
well, she does TikTok,
okay.
I do.
and
Yeah.
one. We value the voice of women on this show, and two, the voice of especially younger women, because we're all elderly men, and you actually like have your ear to the pulse of what the kids are into. So, like,
Just barely.
I
Just
told-
barely.
More than
I'm a
us.
baby millennial, so it's
right.
like
And you're
right
an
on that cusp.
elder millennial, and
I'm not an elder. I'm the middle. I'm a middle.
I'm true. I'm
middle.
true millennial. I'm 1990, baby.
It starts in 1983.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm like 1990s. It cuts off at what,
You're
97?
3 years younger than
No,
95.
95. Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, and you're at the actual cutoff.
Yeah,
just about.
December 95.
So I mean, you're a month away from doing Fortnite dances in the
yeah,
streets.
yeah,
so.
and eating Tide Pods. So, you
Oh,
know,
good.
like, thank God.
Right. Imagine that's a true cutoff where personality-wise, like, if you're born in January of 96, you're just like,
I mean,
everything's fast.
that's how people think horoscopes work.
That is... They
Okay.
have cusp thinking. Like someone, I'm a Scorpio, but I'm the 24th. It starts on the 23rd, and so people say, "Ah, you're more of a you're like a Libra-ish."
You're right on that,
Scorpio."
like, cusp. There's, like, that weak,
Yeah.
like, cusp
See?
that there is.
They've
And
built
can I
in
just...
fail
Every
safes.
last
Can
one
I
of them,
just say I checked my horoscope the other week, and the first thing it said was, it's been terrible lately, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been terrible. I'm like, the fuck?
No, but everything's been terrible.
I mean, yeah, that's a
always
safe bet
been.
during COVID.
Easy get right there. Yeah.
But anyway,
But on that note, when you looked at your horoscope, did you get it off social media?
that was a reach.
That was a reach.
Hey.
But is it, though? Because
In a-
43% of people use social media to check their news and the horoscopes.
So, in a way, yes, because the horoscope app that I use, I can connect with friends and view their horoscopes too.
That's evasive.
Why would
and
you want
how
that?
no,
want
and
that.
how we should interact together that
Oh,
day.
so
It'll
someone just
tell
follow?
you that.
Someone
Yeah.
just followed.
It said Boots Be Knockin' gifted a tier 1 sub to Steady Medley.
Oh my God! Thank you for the gifted sub. Sorry,
Nice.
forget all your fucking stories about horoscopes. We gotta talk to the fans out there.
Bears.
We gotta talk to. Sorry, Jess. We'll come
yeah,
back
right.
around to that. My thing is just like, it feels invasive, like Tommy said, because it's like,
You have
Oh.
a Facebook.
No.
You can no. I'm just gonna tell a story real quick. You can go into your account settings and check all the things that Facebook thinks that you like
Yeah.
that it directs towards marketing at you.
oh yeah, I've seen it, and I should probably pull mine up because mine's hilarious in certain ways. Because it's like he likes Star Wars and. He might be a candidate for HIV/AIDS medication. And I'm like, yeah, I get the searches or whatever, but I'm not looking up anything that would indicate that. And I look up why is this advertised to me? And it's like, you're a male in Texas between the ages of 18 and 38. But because I don't have like my address or my phone number, I've actually kept a lot of that private information off that they can route a lot of the more stuff. They have no idea what I'm like. And I don't like things. I unliked a lot of things. So they have no idea what the hell I'm about. But we'll get into all of that because there's
all
something.
LinkedIn.
Well, yeah, it is all LinkedIn.
Oh, you see what I did there?
I saw it. I didn't like it, but I saw it. But you know what, though? Before we get into all of that, we have our sponsor that we need to give some credence and credit to.
Oh, we got a sponsor?
Yeah, we're selling out immediately, and those people are wonderful, though, because they're me, mexmerch.com. Welcome to mexmerch.com. Oh, my God, look at it. Hey, you can go. Nope, that's everything else. Good thing I didn't have anything else up there. That would have been highly embarrassing. But look at
I
all
saw
this
porn.
merchandise. Mexmerch.com is our sponsor for this evening. And that is our website where you can buy all sorts of T-shirts,
My shirt.
hats, Tommy's shirt. I'm wearing. It's not a shirt, but I'm gonna go with the joke. I'm wearing it right now. Look at that, and it's only available $24.99, guys.
You should change its name to Tommy's shirt.
I'm not. It's Posada X Warhol Men's Sleep, but we got all sorts of things. Men, women, working on children, so we get baby stuff. We got pillows, we got blankets, we got artworks for you. Got chanclas for the people and the Mexican mothers.
How small is that backpack?
How small? No, it's a big backpack. It's a Champion backpack.
shit.
Oh,
It's a legit backpack. $40 with the
shit.
Excellence
I
logo
like that.
stitched in on there. No, we got some high quality stuff. Let's look at the hats.
The people vote for Tommy's shirt.
Boots Be
Sam.
Knockin' endorsed it.
Yeah.
Endorse what?
Also,
Mexmerch.com or
somebody-
Tommy's shirt?
Tommy's shirt.
Tommy's
renaming
shirt.
it Tommy's
Renaming
shirt.
it.
Well,
There you go.
Boots
Let's
Be
take a
Knockin'-
vote.
Tommy's
Boots Be Knockin'
shirt.
has to donate at
Tommy's
least
shirt.
30 more subs to other people before we consider
Hold
that.
on.
But that said, get yourself some Mexmerch.com, and if you're watching the pre-show on Twitch, you'll get a discount. If you're watching the commercial break that we have, you're going to get a discount. 15% off your entire order. And Tommy, we
Yes.
also had a discount from another show. If you go back into the archive and you can find it, I don't even know what it was called. It was News Teats, if it will, right?
Oh, that's right.
Throwback at
News Tea.
any WSTEAT. If you want instant savings, that's 5% off your order. It's a throwback to one of was it this show? Mongo Radio's news, right?
News T.
Fake news.
Yes,
yeah, we
it
did. Yeah,
was.
news
Yeah.
media.
It was the
So if
last
you go
one
back
we
and watch
did.
our last episode, you can find, because I'm not going to say it again, our old discount code. So go ahead, Mexmerch.com. Thank you for humoring me.
Man,
And,
everyone's liking Tommy's shirt.
it's
They
a
also
nice
like
shirt.
your
Really nice
samurai
shirt.
looking tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been so creatively just enamored
make-
with the Mexicans.
I don't make garbage, Sammy.
You don't. Except for all the other things I've seen on your page. But
Damn.
That's
you called me
unnecessary.
hideous moments ago.
Damn.
No, it was a test. I was testing your
Damn.
confidence, and I thought
was-
it worked.
Make a discount.
I was really
named
close to
Tommy's
going-
shirt.
I'll do that. I'll make a discount called Tommy's shirt. 3% off
because
he's
of-
not worth it.
No.
Because of how like off the rails this show goes, and this being our third episode, I was like, all right, I need to get a way to control y'all. I've almost bought a stop sign, like a handheld stop sign, and this would have been the perfect time to use it.
Well,
like,
until-
shit it on Tommy, stop.
Oh, shit on Tommy. Shit on Tommy.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a thing.
Everything's good on the pre-show, not like
There's
No.
a stop button
is
at
his
Planet
show.
K.
What I'm saying though is he's gonna go off on me one of
I'll
these
go
days,
get
and
it.
you're not gonna stop it.
if it's.
If it's just a shoot the shit
I don't
show,
trust
of
you.
course.
I don't trust you, Marcos. But I'll let you proceed with our social media show.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy, why did you pick this topic?
Throw it to you. Who's throwing
it's a
it to
good
you?
question.
Who's throwing it to you?
No, it's just because this I have a special like relationship with social media. It is
Yeah.
both like the battleground of ideas, and I hate it. But we'll get into all that later. I want to know specifically why Tommy, like of all people, because I don't even think I've ever seen you post on Facebook or Instagram even for a while.
Facebook definitely not.
Right.
Instagram rarely. Twitter never.
So
Yeah.
And TikTok.
So why do you want to do
Nothing.
this? You want to yell at people who use it? Is what it sounds
No,
like.
no, I don't. It's a great thing. that's used poorly.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
Well, outside of marketing, which is what you use all of social media for, you, Sam.
Me. Oh,
yes. That's why I'm making eye contact.
Oh, that's weird. Usually I'm able to look away and do all sorts of other stuff because we're on virtual. We're in the studio now. If you can hear our high quality voices on these nice mics. But me.
Yeah, I mean, what is your summary or your introduction to how social media paints your political world?
Paints my political world.
One way or the other.
I don't engage.
You
so
don't?
One of the biggest things I learned really quickly, and this was from my dad. My dad is wise beyond his years, even so. When the internet started coming out, first thing is like, don't put your number, don't put your address, don't push it. He was really good at just getting that in my brain early on. So I go to Facebook and I don't have any information there. I keep everything off. And that kind of went with don't put pictures of yourself with beer cans or anything. Don't put yourself in position with crazy pictures, weed, and da-da-da-da. There's maybe 3 or 4 with any of those on my entire Instagram page before I'm 21. And then after that, it's even rare still. So I keep to myself on social media. My social media is mostly just baby pictures, my nieces and nephews, family stuff, and then funny memes. But when it comes to like the political stuff, I just post what I want. I'm just putting up like, all right, support this proposition, do this. You're an asshole if you like Trump. You're an idiot if you like Trump. You're a dumb moron, and I don't want you watching the show if you like Trump. If you support Ted Cruz, you're a dumb fucking moron, and I hate you and everything you stand for. And I say these things on social media, and without impunity, because most people agree with these types of things, in my bubble, because I study film and media, so I know all of the interconnections of what companies are owned by what and what they'll allow and then what they cultivate in the sense of creating that bubble. So I know my bubble's tight and I purged a lot of them the last 4 years. And so and by people purging, I mean people that didn't belong in my bubble. So I'm fully aware of that, but that's how I keep my shit. I keep my shit locked down and in that bubble safely away from the crazy people.
AKA you created a safe space. But
yeah, because that's social media is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be social. I don't believe it to be an argumentative platform because when you start arguing, you deal with it's free. It's a free service. And I don't want to argue with people that don't have the qualifications to argue with me. And I'm not saying I'm Mr. Smart, Mr. Genius Man, but I'm saying some guy picking his nose in Western Jersey. I don't know if that's a real place, but in Western Jersey,
Pretty sure everywhere has one West.
Who has no real life experience or is like 12 years old or never left his hometown or wipes his ass with his hand. I don't want to talk to that guy about the intricacies of politics because he's not going to have any real life experience. And I'm not saying I'm a world traveler, but why would I want to talk to
It's very simple. If you argue with fact and someone else doesn't,
you just stop responding.
What's the point? Yeah,
right.
You just stop responding. It's not worth it.
So as much as I'd like to use it as a force for political change and activism, there's too many stupid people that spoils the fun, and so I don't engage there.
But all those stupid people have a vote at the end of the day.
Right,
Like,
but
that's
I'm not going to convince them. You can't convince them unless you have lots and lots of money. That's my appeal. That's my understanding of it.
How do you think money would convince people? One way or the other?
Advertising. Beat them people over the head with the ability to garner views. You promote posts. You promote fake videos. You promote fake news. Real fake news, not like the facts. And people will start believing whatever you put out there. And because Zuck won't take anything off because he's collecting the check, you can put whatever the fuck you want. And now they're putting in some. But there's still a lot of things that get through the cracks. So you have to pay for your views.
Still get
I mean,
through the cracks.
Yeah.
You have to pay for those things, man. It's all a money game.
I kind of hate to bring this up, mostly because this is a discussion. Mongrel Radio is a discussion. It's
Right.
not a debate. And I'm saying this because I'm about to press one of your buttons, and I don't mean to press one of your buttons. It's just, it's just fact.
Yeah.
Donald Trump winning in 2016 proves that that's not true.
In what way?
All the money was in Hillary's campaign. He
That's true.
literally did not put any money in advertising. He didn't put any money in putting his message out
Everyone
there.
thought he was a joke.
No, but he
for a
didn't
Yeah.
have
while.
to. He was on TV. And TV is the
But
the
you
voting,
said
no, the
money
TV
and advertising. He didn't do that.
didn't.
Right, but TV. Well, that's the thing. TV because that's the biggest thing, right? The biggest thing is the presidency. I when I think about politics, it's a spectrum versus a hierarchy. So with that situation, because it's on television, old people aren't on the internet. Because what we saw was, oh man, Bernie Sanders owned Donald Trump for real. Hey, boomer, you fuckers. We saw that.
I don't think we saw that at all because Bernie didn't make it to the big
I
show.
know, but we saw that before, and then we saw Hillary the "This Is My Fight" song. We saw all those things, right? We saw all the reasons why
I don't
he
know what
was.
the fuck you were
I know,
watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you would watch all the reasons why he was wrong, right? You'd watch videos of how he's lying and how he's awful. Donald Trump.
Yes.
Right?
Every day.
You saw but you saw those videos on Facebook, right? You saw that when you were there.
I mean,
You
I
were not there
don't.
often.
I'm not
I
there at
didn't
all.
normally see it on Facebook. It was just more because I actually do read, but it's just the debate happens on Facebook.
Right.
That's real.
Right.
But
It's just where everyone has the most connection to each other
well,
and can talk to the most
it's
people.
the easiest to set up, and it doesn't
Yeah.
tie your hands like
But-
Twitter does.
But the
Yeah.
point is, television is king, and he was on TV all the fucking time, spouting lies and nonsense. And the strategy was, and he perfected it near the end, which was say whatever the fuck you want, whatever they argue, retract it a little bit.
100
Someone just
bits.
donated. Thanks for the 100 bits.
Boots be knocking.
Boots be knocking.
Hey.
But that's your thing. And so old people vote, and old people watch TV. So he got all the airtime. And all the dummies believed him on TV. So social media, I mean, that's the real first social media, which
Yeah.
is, did you catch that on the news last night? But that's for that portion. But social media, we all thought, yeah, Hillary's totally going to win. No one's going to get that dipshit a chance. And TV said no.
So I kind
We're
of thought he was going to win just because a year before Brexit happened.
I knew he was going to win because the president before was Barack Obama.
When Hillary's campaign went to the strategy of maybe if we just keep her out of the limelight, people will just see the shit about Trump and we'll be good. That's when I knew
Yeah.
Trump was gonna win.
Yeah.
You're like, so you're gonna advertise your campaign by not saying anything or staying out of the
because
whole thing.
You're that unlikable.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, we need a Pokemon go to the polls. That was the only thing that we didn't do. You guys remember that catchphrase?
Was that after or?
That was before. That was right. That was right
Was it?
before.
I guess so.
That's Pokemon go to the polls. It was awful and I hated it.
That was
Still awful.
But I was gonna go with it
2015?
because I didn't want that. I knew what the repercussions were. And to your credit, Brexit. Let's see what's gonna
Boots be
happen.
knocking, you right.
What do you say? And you can actually check
Trump
the chat.
won because he's a white man.
if you drop
Yes.
drop down on one of those lines right there where it says chat on the left side, you can actually show up. Nope, you're in the right
What
spot.
about
The
just go to main
internalized
screen?
Go to
misogyny
that
in
one.
this
Main
country
screen is
is
what
real.
you're on. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see now. You guys can see the chat going on.
Sorry,
you can
guys.
see me.
I'm new to this.
No. Yeah, Marco's learning on the fly, but no, I thought better of America, and that was the wrong decision.
It's a pendulum. It doesn't even matter. That's why I almost wanted Trump to win again in 2020.
That's 'cause
Is
you're a
that
fucking crazy person?
I don't. It's not about. It's the long game. It's not that Trump is great.
We wouldn't have had a long game if you won again.
No,
we
yeah,
we
it
barely have a
would've
long
been
game
pretty
now
done.
with the way that things are going right now, which is another episode.
It's just a pendulum. That's just the sad thing. That's how America can go from electing not even Trump, George Bush to Obama.
Think
Right
of
now.
it as
I've always agreed with
Well, no,
that.
Think of
no,
it as
see,
your
but then you go-
rebound. Whenever
Yeah.
you break up with somebody,
But-
you go for someone
Here's
completely
the thing.
different.
Yeah, to the extreme.
Yes,
which is
to the extreme.
which is why I was happy Joe Biden became president because that bitch just kind of slowed the fuck down real
Yeah,
quick again.
yeah.
Hopefully. But the way things are going now, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. My opinion about it was, Obama swing one way, first black, young, whatever, awesome, and then swing super hard. And if he would have won, he would have just ripped off the pendulum. There would have been no swing. It would have
yeah,
been
that
over.
would have been the ultimate.
It would've been
We
over.
probably would have got AOC in 2024 at that rate with the pendulum.
Oh, then we would have
Nah,
lost
'cause
again,
that-
and we would have got
Hey,
Trump's
no,
dumbass.
Yeah.
High risk,
I'm sorry.
high risk. It's a high reward.
Yeah.
but high risk also.
But
and I'd rather not
getting
take the high
Biden
risk.
now probably means we'll have Cruz in 2024.
No, he's not.
No,
Disgusting.
he's just not that.
He's not
Nobody likes him. In his own party, they
this
don't like
just
him. They
goes back to the
wouldn't never.
chat that we had. So nobody likes the Kardashians, but they're still successful.
I actually like
No,
him.
people-
I do like
People no women like them. People can see it. Well, this is way off topic, but people like them because they're just human enough to be considered. I can be like that because as crazy
You know
as
what?
it is.
Actually-
that's how they paint their picture. They don't paint themselves as individuals. They paint themselves as a family,
They are
and we all
brand.
have families. We all have families.
That's their brand.
and so we cared
The
about
best
Lamar
looking
Odom.
family in the world.
We cared about Lamar Odom because he was a part of the family, not because he's a great basketball player.
Kind of
but
forgot
It's
about
okay.
Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
no, but he just died of a drug overdose.
Yeah.
He had a real bad situation. but people cared about him like he was one of their own family because they saw him on the TV show. It's just like any sitcom.
You know what? You say it's off topic, and it's right on the fuck topic, actually.
Yeah.
Because one of the people who has the most followers on Instagram.
I forget if it's Kylie or Kendall. It's Kylie, right?
It's Kylie.
Oh, I don't know the difference. I don't know the
Kylie for
difference. They
sure.
mean nothing to me. I never watched the shows. I never
Victoria's
participated.
I mean, you don't have to watch. No, I didn't watch the fucking shows. You know who they are. They're unavoidable.
They're
Right.
all over.
So wait, so
It was an app, Sammy, to get them removed from any internet, social media, anything that had a Kardashian in it, you wouldn't see because people were that fucking tired of jumping on social media, jumping on just the internet in general, and seeing a Kardashian.
You can switch it back now. But you want what's even funnier than that? You can switch it to the full screen while we're talking.
Oh, that's fun.
No, I want you to switch it to the full screen.
Okay.
It's better for editing. But remember that the app game where you're like, be Kim Kardashian's assistant.
Yes.
Go buy her stuff. My friend was the #1 person on that game in the world at one
But
point.
she was proud of that.
No, he was proud of that.
He was proud of that.
Shout out to Hunter. I remember that. That was a weird time. Oh, I got rated by who?
Doesn't say.
It says, what? It doesn't say. It should say right there.
Where?
We're the green. Now
Oh,
it's
shit,
gone
gone.
forever.
Yeah.
It's gone forever.
No, somebody
Thanks for the
tell
raid,
us
guys.
Who rated us? Thank you. I should probably look at the chat to see who rated us. Let us know in the comments. But we're still talking about the Kardashians, not what we should be doing.
No.
But no, they are the queens, and is there a boy? Probably the queens of
No
social
more.
media.
It's just Rob. But
They're royalty.
Yes.
They're royalty when it comes to social
Yeah.
media, and so they're uncontrollable. But they've built that
but they're
brand.
influential also.
And that's how you are able to cultivate those types of things where it's like, oh, they're like our family. We care about them. And that's how you get the needle moving when it comes to political stuff, is getting people to care.
But I mean, overall, just going way back, I'm gonna pull it back 2 or 3 conversations before that. It was because we got into elections and foresight and forecasting. We'll get into that later because there's going to be an election next year, or a big, very important election next year. But the overall thing where you were saying, hey, yeah, the raid came from Alex Sandoval.
Hey, I know that, man. Good man.
But I don't think it's a good idea to have a safe space just because nobody has the answer for everything. Like, if you look at very complicated things like global warming, Syria, I think even California right now, SB 40 is they went too far left, and then now they're running into issues where people are literally getting fired and losing their jobs. Like, nothing is perfect. Like, you need both sides of the coin probably for 60% of the issues.
Right, but social media is it's a news source, but it's not reliable in any real sense. So why would I be getting my news from that when half of it could just be made up anyway? Why I can have a safe space on Facebook. Let's call it that, right? I can have a safe space on Facebook and understand that everything I'm being fed is chosen by an algorithm for me to see it. Nothing is by accident on Facebook, what you're looking at. So I studied this shit. So I'm in a different position. People don't have my style of education. They have different forms of education. They have different things. I'm fully aware of what the bubble means. I'm fully aware of that. I crafted it myself, this safe space. So I know that when I need to, I can venture out and find the resources I need to make the right decision. We went over kind of how we consume media. I don't just stay there. My bubble is to protect me from having just the general anger of having to deal with the other side not wanting to do the right thing for the right people. And we can argue about policy, we can argue about all those things. That's fine. But the people who play the game on Facebook are not considering facts. They're considering feelings and lies. Feelings and lies don't do anything for anybody. But they're very lucrative and they're very influential, which is why there's proper strategies. So why would I even want to be in a position where someone's going to put a video of, hell, the PETA, where they're like, oh, look at this blood on this sheep. Do you care about sheep? It's like, yeah, I care about sheep, but they're delicious. And I mean, I don't wear wool like that, but they use shock tactics like that. And now shock tactics are everywhere. And if you keep eating it, you're going to just be miserable. And a lot of people ate it and are miserable.
I thought it looked like Tommy was going to say something.
Go ahead.
I was trying to.
I can't see him.
yeah.
He's in my periph.
I was. So you kind of set me up really nice here. The thing about social media is, like, I don't hate it. Like I said, it's a great thing.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a gift that we've turned into a very dangerous fucking thing that is an actual legit detriment to society.
Yeah, it's bad.
the thing I really wanted to talk about, we were going to make it its own subject, but it fits so well into this, I'll just throw it in. QAnon.
Yeah.
It was
QAnon.
born out of
Right.
exactly the shit you're talking about. Just lies and manipulation. Hey, look, this person
Right.
likes this or likes this or likes this, and you shoot them a fucking legitimately ludicrous conspiracy theory, and they buy it.
Right.
Hook, line, and sinker, and then more conspiracy theories and more. A cult was created out of that shit. A dangerous cult that stormed a fucking Capitol.
Right.
So
Right. Right. And
that's kind of the ultimate proof that.
And I
you know,
even have my own theories that I've wanted to research myself. Like, actually, if I ever went to grad school, these would be the premises of being of safe spaces created in social media. But back to kind of.
I was gonna say that was actually a really good example of why what the good social media does. I've seen a lot of people actually pull back. There's like all sorts of Time articles about like I was a QAnon believer.
Yeah.
I started losing family and friends, and most of the time when you
that's so
saw,
fascinating.
yeah,
Those
and you know
articles are
what? We
fascinating
need
as
to
hell.
do that. We need to kick them out of society. I feel that way.
When
you
you-
need to hold them accountable. You don't want to kick them out because
When
then
you-
they're
they
just gonna
dig
go
in
make
and then
their
this-
own.
yeah.
That
See? Well, no, you like those people did that. Like, oh, everyone thinks I'm crazy, and then if they dig a little deeper, then they come back to society. They come back, but we need to make sure that the people that are acting crazy don't get put in these positions of power. You gotta look at. It's a very old school thing, and I know you're over there gritting your teeth. You're worried about what I'm gonna say.
No, I'm
But
not.
we got some classic banishment, man. Like
the
we need some classic. We need some
like it.
classic. We need some classic. Like you, we're not gonna kill you, but you are banished.
we need a
from this
second
place.
Australia, please. A second Australia.
You're banished outside
Hey,
the castle walls.
Pretty soon, when Florida detaches, it will be.
It
our
will.
Australia.
Throw them to Florida. No,
It's gonna be escape to Florida. Was Snake Plissken? Where you at?
It's not like I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not saying violence. I'm not saying harass them or beat them up on the street. I'm just saying that they don't. If you're not playing the game in reality, you have no place in the conversation, and you have the right to. But we also have the right to shut it down.
Well,
The unit of sensible people, both left and right, center.
I was about to say it's kind of just really interesting because you've mentioned like with your social media, you've created a safe space, and that, in at least with what I was able to see, is one of the things that led to the people storming the Capitol. Is
Yeah.
because that like was all they were fed on social media, just on the opposite side of
That's
what
their
you
safe
were
space.
fed.
Yeah,
and not to
Right.
yeah. So
Nobody
it's like-
challenged them.
Right.
and nobody challenged them. So banishing like people wouldn't really do anything. But the funny thing is like people on that side are speaking about like probably us the same way and being like, well, they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well,
like
they point to like what happened in Seattle, the non-militarized
Yeah.
zone,
Yeah.
and they're like, they're just as crazy. They literally
There's
you point
evidence
to the
for both
Capitol.
sides.
Yeah, it's like you guys can point to the Capitol and be like, conservatives took that, and they
it's
did.
all about using
and they'll
the data
point to,
to
like-
paint the picture that you want to paint.
Right. I guess the difference is if we had proper banishment techniques, they would have actually responded to the insurrection. They would have if we were living in our just society or a proper government at the time when it happened, they would have crushed that shit. And I'm not saying violently. I mean, they probably beat them with batons. I'm not saying shoot the motherfuckers, but beating the hell out of batons them like they do Black Lives Matter protests. They
I'd
would've-
rather Black Lives
Oh, no,
Matter.
they would've
no,
fucking
I'd
killed
rather
us.
the opposite happen,
Yeah.
where Black Lives Matter gets treated like the Capitol riots.
I'd rather the
See-
cops not
Right, but-
attack anyone.
You have to live in reality. You have to
That
live
is
in
the
reality.
ideal. But yeah,
You have to live in the reality that cops are doing this and they're not stopping. So make it
But
a
we
pla-
don't want to
We-
encourage that
No, but we don't wanna
behavior,
encourage it.
If you are encouraging violence against your enemies,
which is exactly what
Second
they
Civil
do.
War.
Yeah.
So,
Look, no, it's not encouragement. It's play it like you play it, even, fair. If you're gonna do it one way, do it the other
Well,
way.
you were just saying that would happen in a just government.
In a ju-
you
in a-
said in
in
a
a
just
just- in a
government,
just-
the
in a-
police would have shut
Well,
that
fine,
down
in
hardcore,
a-
and that's just like attacking the other
No,
side.
in a
just how
perfect
they're
government,
doing
none of it would happen. In a
Well-
perfect government, none of it would happen. That's what we want. That's what we aim for.
Right.
That's what truth and reality is. If we're trying to be just, where everything's equal, you don't want them to beat up everybody. Clearly, I'm not saying, hey, let's beat up these guys for no reason. because people want to make that false equivalent of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter are protesting something and getting their asses beat. These people were attacking the fucking Capitol. That's not the same.
It's not the same, but there is honestly.
No,
There are similarities.
There's a political.
When you burn down a police station, when you burn down Walgreens, and I know why they do it. Violence
Yeah.
is the sound of the unheard.
Right.
But
They've tried to talk so much, like they have to resort to something to get their attention, which is attacking the money.
And you talk about statistics where the statistics show that a lot of times black people are being unjustly treated and jailed.
Unjustly everything.
Unjustly everything. The stats,
All of the above.
stats back that up, and so that violence is a response for that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not working in a world of reality.
No.
They're talking about the presidency was stolen, and that's why they fought and attacked my government, my house that I pay for, that I love, right? And you're saying that we're not supposed to squash enemies of our government, of our people? They're enemies when they're attacking us,
you
man.
just spent
They
the
rolled
last
in
4
with a
years
Confederate
attacking the
flag.
government.
They rolled in with the Confederate flag. That's not my flag. That's not your flag. You fought for our flag.
No,
bro.
I know.
I'm
And
getting excited. I'm getting excited not at you guys, but I need to make that point clear that these were enemies.
We're terrorists.
These are
Call them what they are.
terrorists. No,
Fucking terrorists.
Definitely domestic
Straight up
terrorists.
domestic
Yeah.
terrorists.
And that's the difference between the two, and that's why I feel like it's scary to compare Black Lives Matter as terrorists. They're violent in occasion. That is true. There's no denying that.
to bring it back to
but
the
to bring
subject,
it back,
you're right about all that
back.
stuff. But we're going back to social media.
right?
Nobody challenged those people, and they were fed. They were in a cognitive dissonance cave where they
in
were
the
being
echo chamber.
in
Right.
an
Yeah,
echo
I get
chamber
that.
of people telling them, "No, the election was stolen."
Right.
There was nobody in that space to challenge that.
They were just seeing everything as
I
fact.
understand that
And-
completely. I get the
But
justification.
that's
What's the
what
next part?
you're doing with your social media.
But as I said, I reach out and I'm aware of it. I have a unique sensibility to it. They don't,
they probably think they do.
but they probably think they do, but they don't. It's because none of my beliefs, as crazy as they may be, tell me to go violent somebody in the streets. All of theirs does, and there's money being pumped to that, which is the problem with the social media being a news platform. Is money's being pumped into these conspiracy theories because it's lucrative. Merch
Well-
sales.
Conflict does make money, and that's why when we talked about Twitch streamers being basically nude,
Right.
it makes Twitch money. Like just going back to what our discussion
That's
was
why the
on
Paul
Tuesday.
brothers make so much money on the fights.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
it's-
is stupid anyway. Which we
Like-
can actually get into that. I would like to talk about some of that stuff too.
But yeah, no, this will go into the end of the conclusion of how we deal with it.
Right.
But I just do think that social media it's here. You can't put the genie back in the bottle, sadly. Like there is no like hiding away from the battleground of ideas that is what Facebook and Twitter are.
But it's not a battleground of ideas, man. If it was like Athens and two philosophers could be on a pillar and debate it out and the best argument of logic and reason win, that'd be the greatest social media. We'll call it Pythagoras and it'd be a great platform, even though he wasn't.
Well-
He was a mathematician. But the idea is, Facebook is not that. It's not some harbinger of great debates and the most intellectual minds. It's not that.
the
It's a
exact
cesspool.
opposite.
It's a cesspool of humanity, and in America especially, the repercussions of our inability to fund education.
Where do you go to talk to people with that perspective then? Because there's a difference between reading the perspective and speaking with someone who has that point of view.
Here?
And I feel but that's your bubble again. You don't have anyone with like a varying, like very much varying point of view. Like a lot of and it might just be because like I'm been in West Texas for a while but I have friends that are like on the conservative Republican side, and we are able to like routinely discuss what's going on and why we both think that way. And we do it over social media, but thankfully, like my safe space is people with opposing views who do not attack people for having opposing views, no matter how much you don't agree with them.
Here's the thing. It's real simple. Republican or thank you, Sam.
let him hear you.
Kind man. Yeah. Republican or Democrat. I'm from fucking LaGrange. I know
Yeah.
more Republicans than I know Democrats.
You probably know some
Not
Klan,
now,
you probably
but
know some
Not
Klan
now.
members
Yeah.
by accident.
Huh?
You probably know some Klan
Probably.
members. That they just don't tell you.
I mean, who
LaGrange.
really knows them on purpose?
I wouldn't be friends with the Klansman. I was like, what if I was friends with the Klansman as like a joke where it's like, yeah, that's my Klansman friend. But I wouldn't even do that.
I don't think that's all that funny. Yeah.
That's super cruel.
I'll skip that party.
Even in joke form.
But yeah, no. So as far as the other side, yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine debating and talking to anyone. It's just one key factor: common fucking sense.
Yeah.
That's it. You got common sense. I don't give a fuck
Exactly.
what you believe because I already know you're gonna come with a fact or two because that's just common sense.
As long as you don't like attack me for having a different point
Yeah.
of view
Like,
and
I don't
are
give a
open to
shit.
hearing my side as well, you are welcome
I
in
will-
my
That's
bubble.
not a rule on the internet.
I will say that
Right?
that
No,
is
but
that
it can
is-
be a rule on your own social media.
In your bubble.
that
in
is
your bubble.
that
But
is a
if it-
caveat that Sam is right about. That it's very easy to go onto CNN.com, FoxNews.com, anything that is not like it's different between I post this and only my friends can respond because I'm only they can see it,
Right.
And going to CNN.com and arguing with a random stranger with
Through the comments.
Which
Yeah.
is why we need Yahoo Answers to stay alive. That's where the true discourse is. But anyway.
That's where all the crazy went.
I don't
We
know.
had to get
Reddit's
rid of
got
it.
some crazy people.
Yeah,
on
Reddit,
it.
yeah, we got Reddit now.
Our
I don't need Yahoo
politics
Answers.
How was Babby formed? I want to know how Babby is formed, all right? Have you ever read that Yahoo thread? It's terrible.
Oh,
But
God.
I don't know if this is an actual tweet or it is fake news that Mike Tyson was like, social media made people really comfortable not getting punched in the face for what
Yeah.
they had to say.
I mean, if he didn't say it, I can. I mean, it's the same.
It's a
yeah,
very
believe
good
it.
quote because it's the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the people would never say half the shit they say in a comment section, which is why I lost my shit. I hate comment sections because that you know what that is? That's That's concentrated shit.
Oh,
Right.
That's what it is.
Or stream,
It's the,
or
just
stream
the
of-
straight
or the
worst
shit
of the
stream of
worst.
consciousness of
Yeah,
people.
but
Just
you-
saying whatever comes to their mind, the first thing.
Whatever it does, and it's
Comment
just
sections on public posts are honestly the funniest thing in the world to me.
some people love them. Some people can find the
so
entertainment
funny.
in them.
Right.
But I think it's the worst thing ever because just people are cruel. Whatever deep cruelty that is in them, they will release that
Oh, it
onto
is
the
a
internet.
deep-seated
Yeah,
self-hatred
unto
for
the world.
sure.
Something
Right.
that if the internet didn't exist, they would never do.
Or address, or
Yeah.
but and that's the thing.
This-
why if we're agreeing on that point, that it's just a stream of consciousness cesspool of just self-loathing and hate, then why even engage? There.
It's not always that.
Where is it then?
I mean, I've had really
My
lots.
Facebook.
Yeah, I was about to say we've both had like. It's just because of between being in the military and being in West Texas. Like I have just people from different circles. Like it's
Right.
just
And the threshold when it comes to where we're at politically now, you can find a couple of good eggs, but the good eggs aren't enough to move the needle now.
the issue becomes when you look at stagnation of how far apart both sides are at seeing the other side at the enemy. It's like the highest that's ever been polled by Pew. It's like
Right.
43% think they're right all the time, and the other side is wrong. The other 57
You don't see the good eggs because the only thing that's ever highlighted is going back to our other conversation is the drama.
Right.
So
Where-
like the excessiveness or the like extreme political sides, whether that's on the right or on the left, that is all that's shown. And then all you see is the people backing them up and hyping them up. And the people like on more of the middle ground and the independent leaning either way aren't heard as much because they're not the ones engaging in that content.
Right. Which is why it's all a farce. Because that's all you're getting. And that's what sells and that's what they're promoting. Because you guys can have your individual...
Social media can sell anything. In
Yeah.
fact, I think the most popular thing that I ever saw when Facebook started was just, "Can I has cheeseburger?"
Right.
I almost got a shirt with that on it.
But neutrality doesn't sell. It's
Breaking
not
the
sexy.
tension.
No, but it's not sexy. Neutrality's not sexy. It doesn't sell. Like, kill the left because they're a bunch of libtard dabbers. And then
Yeah.
it doesn't sell as much as my
Logic-
side, which is
Well,
like,
that's-
all rednecks are fucking
Well,
idiots. right?
Logic
Like,
never sells over emotion.
which is why, which
But
is
this
why
is going to be.
social media is not a logic platform. That's my argument.
It just depends on your circle. There are a lot of ways that I've built I've built up that I don't agree with people like Opie all the time, But we can,
Which is one of your friends on your social media, just to give people some context.
yeah, everyone knows what Opie is just by hearing his name.
But it's bad. Like, Marcos would be like, haha, here's a joke about border immigrants. And he's like, we should shoot them all. And it's like, dude.
He's never said that.
Well, it's a fake name. If it's going to be a fake name, it could do a fake situation. But he's very extreme in some of those ways.
He's just
more so than I've ever seen.
a libertarian. He is a Trump supporter, but it's when it comes to things like taxes, when it comes to things like Syria, like there is no one side has the answer.
Right. But when it comes to, hey, should we kill these Mexicans?
He's never said that.
But he supports Trump, who wants to kill the Mexicans.
He's never said that either.
He wants to keep them out and call all sorts of things.
If you believe in Trump, which I don't, but his mindset is like, you can come into America. You just got to use the door. That's how it's painted. We know it's not that easy. We know we have family.
Right.
Yeah.
You support Joe Biden, right? Or you did?
Support is a loose term, but yeah.
By default.
Yeah. Do you agree with everything that he stands for?
Right now, not the moment, no.
No, but you still supported him. There's people like that on the right too.
Right, but the worst Biden has said, or the worst he's done so far, is not done some of the things he promised. And then you go to immigration. Let's be critical of that, right?
Normal president shit, man.
But let's be
I don't
critical.
know.
Let's be critical of that. He wanted to keep the historical low number of migrants coming in low. That was awful, and then he changed it. Is there anything worse than that, other than allegations of just being creepy and a sex pervert? That are
He's only had
Clinton
100
primed
days.
us for that,
right.
so we're good.
But the idea is that's the worst of him. Is there anything worse that you can think of, realistically?
Trump didn't do anything that bad within his first 100 days either. First 100 days.
I'm not even talking about I'm talking about what he did even before he got the office. The
I
things he
mean,
was
the
saying,
black crime bill.
the black crime bill, the groping women, the things he was saying about women, all those things.
There's a lot of because he's been a politician since before segregation. Like,
Yeah.
You talking about Biden?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Biden's fucked up too.
yeah, no, I thought that's what the question was.
Oh no, no, no,
Yeah.
has
no.
Biden-
But I'm saying, Biden. Yeah, Biden is an old crazy man. But
I'm not saying that he's an
I'm
old
saying
crazy
that.
man.
I'm
I'm saying
saying
that he's a dude that's okay. Well, you could say that.
I can say that.
I think he's a dude that's played the game, which is if you're a
Yeah.
politician in the '90s,
You needed to.
You're
Right.
not. You're against.
Like,
you're
you-
against
but-
gay
you need to.
weddings.
But
you're
that's what all
against-
politicians are that are good. They play the game.
Bernie
and they
has been
sweat.
doing
That's
it
all
since
it
the
was.
60s.
And,
in
and,
the
and he
90s.
hasn't, and I love Bernie, but he hasn't won shit other than the Vermont 500 people election that he wins, right? He can convince 500 people it's a good idea, and he has a big following, but he can't convince
We
everyone
wouldn't
else
have got
that's his Achilles.
We wouldn't have got the stimulus checks if it wasn't for Bernie.
Right. No, but that's because he was put in a position of power, and social media was able to lift him up, which is a benefit.
So it is good.
There's benefits to it. there's benefits in terms of fundraising and activism. Well, it's all armchair, but it can bring about awareness to actual activism.
Well, that
and
brings
that's
us-
a good part of it.
That brings us to our second note, which is we've been at each other's throats a little bit. So this will be
This is jolly.
You guys have. I've just been.
This is Tuesday for me,
Okay,
baby.
this has
is
been-
Thursday.
This is an average day on my Facebook, but no.
Impassioned is the proper, I
Yeah.
think.
So this is just going to be an easy place where we might all just shit on something, which is social media allows you. It's the participation hashtag that's what we're going to talk about here for a little bit. It allows you to do something without doing nothing at all, and that's kind of gets in the way of
Real activism.
real activism. Yeah.
So, what's the lead question, or what's the kind of where do you want to start here? Because there's a lot of it.
I mean, I want to pass the ball to Tommy a little bit just because we've kind of bullied him out of the
Oh
conversation.
no! I've been fucking
This is
entertained.
the first time it's happened in a long while.
Yeah, no. Hey, look, when you two are going, I'm not jumping in on that. I'm enjoying that
It's
show
like two
also.
pit bulls just
Yeah.
like, "Arr," right?
Like, what's my popcorn? But it can be used for greatness. Could you imagine if social media was around when Martin Luther King or Fred Hampton or Malcolm X were around?
Rodney King. That would have been on.
Would've been useful.
That would have been on. I mean, that was on the news, and then it was on YouTube.
Would have been very
It
useful.
would have been like, oh yeah, we're rolling.
That's
We're
why
wrong.
it's a good. That's one of the good parts of
Right.
it. One of the best parts of it. Sad that it takes that, but the
Yeah.
fact that you can now see it, it changed some people's minds. But again, when you
Yeah.
also have social media fighting the opposite direction, when common sense things like a man you can clearly see being killed on tape,
Right.
you can still be talked out of that because you saw a post on Facebook that says, "Oh, George Floyd was this
It's
and
Don't
not
was
make
what
that
it
that."
gesture towards my
looks
face
like.
again. That was a little close. You're like George.
Wow.
It was too close to my face. You're talking about levity, but yeah.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah.
I agree in that sense. I'm gonna go a little bit negative on it, but it's good.
Like, look, put it this way. My point is, it's kind of cancels itself out.
Yeah.
It's great and like terrible at the same time because like
for every bad thing, there's a good thing. For every horrendous thing, there's justice for once.
Right.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have happened had it not been for social media. So,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Again,
so
but hey, how many other cops have gotten off with probably doing the exact same thing that weren't filmed?
Like
you know?
we're extremely like the amount. Well, social media helped us know the amount of cops like that get away with that sort of shit, right?
Right.
Like, because most people wouldn't know that prior.
Right.
And now it's making it so that we are so extremely excited for a cop being held to the bare minimum of what he was supposed to do. But, like, it's something that wouldn't have been able to happen were it not through the influence of social media.
Sure.
Like, there were a lot of people that I saw in my social circles, like, sort of changing up their perspective as they were able to see this George Floyd thing and the Black Lives Matter protest happen in real time because
Right.
people were doing Facebook lives. They were like posting right away. We could see this shit as it was happening. But at the same time, while it called for that, there was also this really large and probably the majority group of people who maybe just posted the black square one day and like, I did something,
and
and
then
literally
social
nothing
media
else went
distracted
right.
the shit out of them, and they completely forgot.
Yes,
Right.
and it was done for like more of a clout sort of
Yeah.
thing than
Right.
anything. And that's like the performative activism side. That's sort of just like you feel like you're doing something because you're yelling to your followers, like, yeah, don't support this, but your followers already believe the same shit that you do.
Again,
so,
echo chamber.
Echo
It
chamber.
goes both
you're-
ways.
So
And-
it's like you're not really doing
Yeah,
anything.
to give two shits. And it's like,
You're just
look on
making
social media
yourself feel
now
good.
and see how many people are actually doing something, still protesting or
Still protest.
still posting articles,
Still writing
about,
letters
something
to
that's
the
wrong,
government.
still writing letters,
still
things like that.
donating to
Very
these
few.
places.
Right.
Because it was a fad, it was a trend,
Yep.
and I knew it was going to pass and it was going to recede, and it was just
Yeah.
like, okay, who's going to be left when it does?
Right.
Yeah.
When it's not fashionable anymore.
Right, because that's
No.
where I was gonna go. That
Yeah.
performative nature of it is that it's real easy to be like, I got my I voted sticker and I want to post it, so some people will go vote just so they can post a sticker.
Right.
I'll take
But
that.
that's the good side.
I'll take
That's
that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that
I'm
works. I'll
perfectly
take it,
fine with
yeah.
I'll take that.
shit.
I mean, but if you decide to be political on your own page, and even if you are, the people a lot of time the new word virtue signaling, whatever. Sometimes you need to put your foot in the ground, and I think social media allows, it forces people to do that where otherwise they wouldn't. Taylor Swift was a perfect example. For a while there, she wasn't saying anything about any politician and any sort of thing ever. She just kept
Yeah.
to herself about it because she is lucrative, and at a certain point, the right was like, yeah, she's not saying anything because she agrees with us.
She's
And-
like, no.
And those whispers started coming, and she was like, "No, let me just be neutral." Yeah, you got the fucked up, Mike. I'm sorry. But,
It keeps like slowly going down.
yeah, no, it's judging by the tape that you can't see off air. But no. So at a certain point, she knew that it was going to hurt her brand to keep going that way, and so she was like, "Trump's a dipshit, and go vote." Like she wasn't even pro anything. She was just saying that bad man bad, go vote. Like,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
enough. And I'm not saying she changed any minds, but she threw
she got
drew,
more voices out
She
there.
drew the line in the sand and used her influence, her millions and millions of people, and took a shit, not even a neutral to positive stand, in my eyes, where a lot of people choose not to, and they. I don't think social media is a good communication back and forth, but I think is a good soapbox. I think it can be used as a good way to dictate what the movers and shakers want to say. I mean, because everyone does have a voice. Twitter, as you know, the check marks and whatnot. If someone says, "This is how I feel," I think you could do more with that than with just people trying to debate. Because we're not scholars. I'm not even a scholar in any of this shit. So why would I talk to somebody about some shit that's an opinion at best?
Because you still vote, but Tommy has something to say.
Yeah, I was about to say a good point, or a good example of what you're saying. Speaking of the Kardashians, Kylie Jenner posted something on Instagram.
Just can't escape them.
Can't get it, goddamn Kardashians.
She posted something on Instagram to get people to vote, and I don't know how many. It was millions of people that saw it, and
Stupid
It was,
bug, yeah.
oh yeah. Oh no, to get to register people
Register
to vote.
people to vote.
And yeah, a lot of fucking people registered to vote
Right.
because of her.
And did they vote? Who knows?
Who knows? But one step. That's a big
Where,
step.
where does she
Yeah.
live? California or
California.
California.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
voted.
Yeah. So, but I think that's a little bit better. But yeah, I guess the idea is that we vote, yeah, but our opinions are based off of our loose knowledge of what we barely know.
But your loose knowledge is somebody's deep knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Like-
so why would I talk about any of this shit? Like I knew what the hell I was talking about.
Well, there's levels to this,
Right.
And that's the problem with social media. That I've definitely seen. Blah 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 is an asshole. Or the demean is like, oh, I tried to fill out an idiot application and I filled out Joe Biden or Trump. Like it,
Right.
like there's the dumb. I call them minions memes. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good, that's a good word. Yeah.
but conservatives and liberals both use that, and it's just like I think it's like the minion doing the what face, and then
Yeah.
like they'll be like, yeah, like Biden said this.
Let's
Trump
put it
said
this
that.
way: political memes are just hacky and awful on every side. Infographics are bullshit, and the left, or especially with infographics, they may be right half of the time or 3/4 of the time, but they're still garbage, and I don't like them.
But I'm just saying that so everyone knows there's that level. There's
Right.
sharing headlines, which is its own
Right.
monster.
Which is my favorite website, Clickhole. Let's shout out to them. They just make fake headlines. It's great.
And then there's, I mean, God, the amount of research and time that I do, like, to just research and know it's like, all right, this person's saying this because he feels this because he's trying to get inside line. Like, it's the amount of, I am not by any means a political scholar, but I do read and research a lot to know that it's like, no, that's not true. This, because the thing is that, and then like, I think I've seen a meme once that was like, conservatives mean by doing blah, blah, blah is dumb.
Right.
And then liberals mean by like, paragraphs of
Right. Right. And with all of your education, other than your friends or people you may know, who have you won over? Or how have you made a difference
How
as
do
a
you-
layman?
win people over that aren't in your circle. That's just, it's about, that's all
People-
you can do sometimes. But it's, let me point to Jessica, because I know you asked me,
Right.
but Jessica had a crazy friend that was, like, thought the election was stolen.
So my entire job is based on like influencing people and trying to like get them to agree to what I think should happen, right? So it's, you can't do that without having a relationship with that person and trusting that person.
Right.
Nobody's going to agree with you like just because you're this random person on the internet, like what you were saying, trying to dispute something completely out of their wheelhouse. Like no one's going to like give you any sort of mind because they have no opinion of you. They don't like respect you. There's nothing there.
Right.
Whereas with a friendship with somebody from the opposite side, you're able to have that like civil debate and talk about those different perspectives and come to an understanding about why they feel that way because you know the person, you have that mutual respect with them, and you're able to understand that you know they have the best intentions and this is their way of showing them because this is the experiences that they had had. So I had this friend from West Texas. Her and her boyfriend both believed that the election was rigged because they were stuck in their little echo chambers of like, this is the data that we're showing, and like everything showing that it was rigged, like too many people on this side voted
And
or
mind
something
you,
like that.
all of that was lies. So,
But I was,
no, but they were being
but
fed
she
was all
wouldn't,
lies.
but she wouldn't have believed me
Yeah, she
about
could say
that
it's
if
a
I
lie.
didn't. Yeah, she wouldn't have believed me about that if one, I would have gone and attacked her and just been like, "What you believe is false. Your opinions are bullshit."
Dig right
Like
the
she
fuck
would
in.
have, she
Yeah.
would have been like, "Who the fuck are you?" and
Yeah.
gotten defensive
Yeah.
because I was aggressive. However, I went at it with like, "Oh shit, man! Like, why do you feel that way? Can you show me like the articles that you've like looked
Even
at?"
though she knows it's bullshit.
I know it's
but
bullshit,
she knows
but
how
I'm
to,
going
you gotta
to
handle
ask.
with kid gloves.
I'm going to ask,
Yeah.
like, why do you believe that? Because I want to make sure that I'm getting every single side of the story and knowing entirely why you believe it. Because it's like, other than that, I will have no idea how to convince you of my side or if my side is even correct. Because if you have data, like actual true data that supports your opinion and I don't, well then shit, maybe I need to relook at mine. But you can't have an open conversation with some random person from the internet. You need to have that relationship with people of different perspectives.
Here's the thing.
See, my thing is,
If you don't walk those people
But yeah,
back,
so
they
they no
storm the
longer
Capitol.
believe they no longer believe the election was rigged because I was able to show her like, hey, this is the facts. This is the actual data. I'm looking at your sources right now, and they're very skewed. Here's why. And she's like, "Oh shit, I didn't know. I didn't see that."
but why is this person your friend? Let's start.
Because I like her. We're friends.
Right.
We used
Where
to
did you
work
meet?
together.
Work together.
Texas
We
Tech.
used to work together. No, she didn't go to Texas Tech. We
Oh.
used to work together.
Okay.
We worked at a bar, and then she ended up being my gym buddy for
Right,
a while.
right.
So we developed that connection, like never talking about politics because it just never came up.
Right. And I'm not even gonna throw this out there like that, but like as a Latino male, I don't have the option to not have that conversation, those
I'm
conversations.
a Latino male.
I know,
I
but
think
you're
you
you're
do.
military, and you had guys who wanted you and everyone that looked like you did, but still saved your life because that's the
That's-
brothership that you guys developed uniquely in that bubble.
Like
You
I
tell- you
said,
tell me
if
all the
you-
time that
No,
it was
I
like
understand,
that.
but it's not about they want Mexicans dead. They just believe in the law of the land that you go through the front door. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's their mindset. And then when it comes to what Jessica was talking about, it's like if you don't have a conversation, if you don't have a dialogue with these people, they storm the Capitol. They
You're
don't.
not
They
forced into a dialogue ever. Somebody could bring something up and you're just like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, let's move to a different conversation. You don't need to engage in this dialogue.
By the way,
you are doing that to yourself.
her boyfriend, that's a Trump supporter, is also Mexican. Like
Yeah.
it's.
He's Mexican.
Right.
He's from the border.
Yeah, but I know they're crazy people. there.
He's the first generation.
Right. They
Yeah.
create. We can get into that. I'm also menos. That's.
That's a good subject.
I guess what I'm saying is, how long did that take you
What do you mean?
to convince her
Well,
otherwise?
One conversation.
One conversation.
One conversation because we have that mutual respect.
Right. So what about people who have the bubble so deep and are in that world so deeply that even if there's gray opinions on that side, the ones that are more reasonable and things that I can be like, okay, I see why you want smaller government. I see why you want funding here, here, and here. I'm not unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate game of the numbers in the House and the Senate, if it goes the wrong way, then people that look just like me and Tommy and you and all our other friends and people, they're not in a safe space. They're not in a good spot. And they're victims of that in the cruelest form. And we saw a glimpse of it. Right? We saw a glimpse of it.
How many politicians, and I know you like, well, you'll bring up people like Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is just a turtle that'll be there no matter what the country believes because he's running in Kentucky and it's 99% red.
Right.
Yeah.
How many people, because I know the number, how many people do you think subscribe to that QAnon point of view and are in Congress?
2?
3.
3? Yeah.
And one of them is about to get yanked, and it's Matt Gaetz for pedophilia.
Okay, so
Legit human-
So statistically speaking, 1 out of 3 QAnon people pedophile. That's a joke. I mean, they're awful people, but that's libel. So I'm not going to say that as
The other 2 are women.
But the other, well, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Women can be
And
pedophiles
Lauren
too.
Boebert.
Equal rights.
Equal opportunity, I suppose. Yeah.
Women can be pedophiles.
Don't box us
Since
in.
2021.
Lauren Boebert
Right.
is the other one.
Yeah, Boebert and
Boebert, yeah.
Taylor Greene and,
Right.
and
Matt
Gates. And Boebert is a mad woman, and then
I don't know how she won in Colorado.
It just depends on the district.
Boebert's
It could-
the one with the like brown hair and
Yeah,
younger,
Marjorie
right? Yeah,
is the one with
she's-
green hair.
she's- and then-
Oh, yellow, blonde.
blonde. But she's there.
Demonic
I realized what
Betty
she
and
was.
Veronica. Just
She's the
think that.
Republican AOC. Where it's just a
Wait,
young
AOC
you know,
scared, which she's not. Like I understand where she's
doesn't have
coming-
the same capacity and into like I'm not
but-
saying that, but I can see
AOC
how she
scares people on the conservative side.
Yeah.
but when it comes down to, I just want to say, so Marjorie Taylor sucks.
She's
She hasn't passed
she's a
any. She
mad
hasn't
woman.
passed anything.
She's a mad woman,
AOC hasn't passed any bills either.
but she yells at people, and I like that.
So it's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No, but she does it with guns. I don't like that.
Oh, that was a little bit more
AOC's never
No.
been like, you should vote this way.
They're the
you know?
exact opposite
Boebert
of
does
each
it
other.
with guns. Marjorie
Right.
Green Taylor does it while
I know, she shot
doing
a-
CrossFit or some shit.
She shot 2 guns too.
Hold on. Marcos, I'll let
I'm
you. What was it, Marjorie
relatable.
Taylor Greene?
Yeah.
Someone look that up, Mar.
What her CrossFit workout?
Do
that
we
she
have
did?
to?
Yes, because it's awful, and I want to shame her more.
Jeez.
This was like a month ago.
This is me going into it and doing my thoughts to shaming. Now, Marcos, because you are a weightlifter and for levity,
Okay.
what is she doing wrong here? That's pretty on form. Not too bad.
I mean, if you want to do push
Few more
press, I
knees.
guess. I
Yeah.
hate push press.
That's a CrossFit push press. for
That's
sure.
fine. And then
What's she doing,
if
muscle
you
ups?
could figure out what is this.
I don't think that's a full. Well, because, so shockingly enough, don't like hold this against me, but I have done a CrossFit competition before,
No,
and
that's
they
not the
called that
point.
they called those muscle ups at that point. So
I thought muscle
basically,
up was going above the
yeah,
bar.
I thought it was going above the bar, and I think that's what it was supposed to be. But that's their version of a pull up, and they do that so they can get speed over actual like
You'll tear
results.
your shoulder doing
Right,
it that
It
way.
will,
looks
like, it will
incredibly
tear your
dangerous.
rotate the
shoulder.
cuff.
But
No.
for what they were going for, yes, that was proper form.
How embarrassing. That's more against CrossFit now than her, but no. But of those people in Congress, 3 is enough because they're all 3 of them have a spotlight on them to be like, hey, let's see if they'll do anything, and they're doing nothing. But evil.
They are doing nothing.
They're
doing nothing, and
They're
they're
doing
doing the
nothing.
wrong
Nothing's
shit.
getting
They're
passed.
doing nothing, but they're trying for evil.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a few more people on social media to bring it back, to give them power. If it wasn't going so poorly for them, if they
But that's the thing.
if they were half competent.
It is going poorly because it's not even just social media. It's just rational common sense. People make up social media, but it's just like they're looking at their arguments. It's like, no, I'm sorry.
Right. But even Ted Cruz, who has support in this state.
Ted Cruz is also a Mitch McConnell. Like, he's going to be there no matter what.
Right,
He'll
but-
slime his way forward
but
somehow.
why?
Why?
Because why is somebody who is so unliked, and I'm not just with my own biases.
Because he's a Republican, and if it's a Republican against a Democrat, it doesn't
People
matter.
like
if it's
what
Satan.
they know
It will.
versus
They
change.
will. Yeah.
But why does he even
It's a
know?
dedicated
Was
thing.
there not even another Republican
was he not
with
even
a
know?
little more
Because
with a little
he's-
more charisma, a little more knowledge? Is he the? My question is he the best that Texas has got?
No,
No.
but
He's
we know
married
him.
to money. He's married to money. Like, his wife is...
Which is going into paying for social media. I'm kidding, but
No, more like paying for your politician. But
Yeah.
oh, you mean his ugly dumb wife? Apparently, you can call her that because he won't do
And he
shit.
will campaign for you, sir.
He will campaign for
Yeah.
you and go to your house. and
he's
eat
actually
your
a
food.
sponsor of the Mexcellence now.
Hey!
Ted Cruz, give us that sweet, sweet PAC money, you fuck. By the way, just so we're clear,
I want to go to Cancun too.
Hey, that was gonna come over. I was like, I'll go hang out with your daughters. His daughters are all too young. Never mind. It wasn't like a sex thing. It was more like I'd go travel with them because he's apparently shipping people off to have a good time. I just want to.
I'm sure Heidi would
promote.
enjoy your company.
You know what, Heidi? I'm sorry I called you that. You know, hey, baby, come here. Get yourself some Mexmerce.com. Get yourself a Ted Cruz Trader T-shirt. $24.99. It's
I
there.
hope she wears that in the divorce.
Exactly, because it's gonna happen. Because how could you?
Well, she did spend 7
She is
years
the rich
apart
one.
from him
Huh?
when they
She is
first
the
got
rich one.
married.
Yeah.
Right.
She would get the money.
She is the rich one.
There you go.
I hope she
So-
has
She's
a
the breadwinner.
breadwinner.
What's her name again?
What?
Heidi?
Heidi,
Heidi
baby,
Cruz.
baby, come on home. Get yourself something new, younger.
The Mexcellence needs a sugar mama.
Exactly. And I don't know jokes. I don't care about him enough to have any jokes even relating to that family. But
And Ted Cruz is
I mean-
enough of the joke.
right,
There's enough-
But here's also just to bring it back. Why I think he'll never win the presidency is because he is that big of a joke on social media, and I think that by the time another 4 years.
Bro.
It will have the needle will have swayed on social media where people, especially Zennials, the youngie people, the ones that are eating Tide Pods, they'll be able to vote.
They're conservative.
Are they really? Because why?
Because they're just tired of everyone's bullshit, like
Yeah.
kind of thing. So they sway. They're basically, we are basically baby boomers. We're very nice and friendly, and we're like, I'm a Hogwarts, whatever.
Fair
We're
enough.
nostalgic.
Right.
Yeah, we're the baby boomers. They are Gen X. They're just mean.
They're just like, don't tell me what the
80s
fuck
Coke
to do.
villains. Damn it!
Their lives are going to be a Quentin Tarantino
I
movie.
feel like we're gonna have a
I
lot
was
of,
vouching for the youths, but here.
Oh no, here's the thing
no,
about
we're gonna
them.
have a lot of libertarians in this next.
That's what it is. Like, a lot of them
Which
are
is good,
Republicans in
honestly.
the literal traditional sense of it. Like they
Which is
dialed
what
it
we
back
need
to
to
the
get
bare
back
bones
to.
of what it's supposed to be. They don't give a fuck about your sexuality. If
No.
you're engaged, they could give two shits.
They want small government
want
and
racist
don't tell
shit.
them what the
Right.
fuck to do.
Yeah. They don't want racism. They ain't about that. They think that shit is stupid. Makes no logical sense.
Right.
No.
That's where they come from. And you damn sure aren't going to tell them what the fuck to do.
Right.
Where we are now and what they're trying to do now, very authoritative.
Yeah, right now it's
Authoritarian.
not a really like proper
making them
view
look
of
too
the
great,
Republican
yeah.
Party.
It's
Right.
not making that look too great. And so they're going to rebel against that shit hard. Physically, if need be, because they are extreme.
they
That
will
is
have
an
guns.
extreme generation.
Right.
They come from extreme stock because
Right.
Gen X is pretty much their
I
parents.
was trying to imagine like as androgynous as they are with guns, and I'm like, oh wait, Lil Nas.
Yeah, they love Lil Nas.
But you know what?
Call me
I'll
what
take a
you
future
want.
where people are governmentally conservative and don't want to kill Mexican or black folk or gay people.
Yeah.
I'll take
Well,
I'll take
I mean-
that.
Look,
That's
here's
the
the
gray.
thing.
That's what the gray used to
Here's
be, right?
The thing, like I said, grew up in LaGrange, so I've seen actual hardcore Republicans
Yeah.
in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get to why I've been so kind of laid back and not really active in this
Right.
in a second. But so I've seen both sides. They can get along. The 90s, why we are the way we are, just nostalgic, just give us all the shit we had as children, as adults, adult coloring books. Fucking
Well, because we
Video
we can't
games.
afford homes or any luxuries that our parents could.
Let me
We
tell
like
you
the
something.
little things.
Let me ask every
No,
person in
we're
this room.
forced to like the little things. That'd be my argument. But
Let me
valid.
ask
Like-
every person in this room. If Nickelodeon said, "Hey, tonight we're going to show Snick in its entirety, including commercials," would you stay home and watch that
I would
shit?
stay home and watch it.
Absolutely.
See, I'd watch for the commercials. I'm a fiend.
You
for
would
that.
still watch that shit.
like I'm not like so like people still go back and watch like Batman the animated series,
Yeah.
X-Men, Spider-Man, like on
Right.
Disney Plus. Friends of ours. I can't do it because I've moved past that in my life. But the commercials, there's
Commercials,
but,
that's the
there's-
throwback.
but for me, because I have like an advertising mind, I'm like, what were they feeding us? And then it's like, oh shit, they were feeding us insanity. The
Yeah.
Craver, just to have it fun for a second, the honeycomb guy, was
Yeah.
a crackhead furry ball that was just like, me want honeycomb.
It's
It's
amazing.
like, I think that's why we're cool with crazy crack
Here's
kids
the
now
thing.
because they sold the cereal before.
We'll circle back to that later.
Circle back.
Here's the thing. We are that way because we were brought up in statistically, I'm not talking race relations, that's a whole separate issue. Statistically, between Republicans and Democrats, the most peaceful time.
Era, yeah.
Most peaceful era was just compromise. They did what they did on the floor. A lot of them went and had beers afterwards. They were genuine friends.
Right.
And we are the way we are because we had zero fucking worries. And
We
that was
were
the best
children.
time. We were children.
We were fucking
but it was
children.
still the best time because once Bush came,
9/11. Well, 9/11. That's really what it was.
That was it. That's the
9/11.
point. 9/11 happened, everything changed.
Yeah.
Right.
Big Needle just moved completely away from that peace, that riding our bikes until the fucking lights came on type shit.
Now we know that Giuliani was not the hero that he was back then.
Oh, God.
Now, with the hindsight being 2020.
He's a
His
man
house
that
got
leaks.
raided like 2 weeks ago.
Yep. He's going to jail forever.
But
Well-
to me, that sums up our. It fucked us up. It didn't prepare us to rebel and do all that extreme shit. I would have never thought we'd have to go to war. In the fucking 90s, none of us thought that shit.
Desert
No.
Storm was right there.
This was
It was, come on, Marco.
Across
But
the
it was
sea.
Desert Storm in the,
Most
grand
boring
scheme.
war movie ever,
Yeah,
except for the Three Kings.
And that was the point of the movie. Was that it? But yeah, like it was a completely different time, and it fucked us up to a point to where we're not angry about much. We are nostalgic. We want to go back to the time when shit made sense, shit was great. That's why we are the way we are. But this generation, any generation after 9/11, all they know is fucking extreme.
Strife.
Yeah.
They're
just
gonna
living in turmoil.
fight
They
for
are,
what they
yeah.
believe.
So right now you're seeing a push to dial back, to just turn the clock back completely to just some of the craziest shit you've ever seen.
Right.
And it's not going to work. It looks crazy. It's a whole side that's completely lost without their grandmaster.
Right.
But at the same time, the one thing that Republicans are dug the fuck in. The why I don't judge, I do judge actually quite a bit.
I do.
I can't
quite
lie.
often.
I do, but I get it. I'm like these, so I do get it. And the reason I get it is because it was a woman. They interviewed her. She was in QAnon. And they asked her, like, they traced it back before that to her voting for Trump. Mm-hmm. They asked, why did you vote for Trump? She's like, I don't really pay attention to any of that stuff. I was just born. I mean, my parents were Republican, so that makes me a Republican. I just always vote Republican. I don't follow anything they do or policies.
Right.
It is a set standard. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't convince them anything.
Right.
It's no point. People, ever since Trump is the next the next mark you could put, next checkpoint
Right.
after 9/11 to me, because now you have a dude who is everything that a lot of people wish could be,
It
basically.
was, yeah.
The things he believes, the things that people, grew from him that I don't even think half the shit he would even believe. But hey, it sounds like something he would believe, so fuck it.
Or just said it.
Or just say
said
it in
just to say
passing.
it.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Anything he does, he's for them. And so we're in a point where people are so dug in, it is no convincing anyone of anything.
Right.
I was thinking of, like, what am I going to talk about in this subject? And I kind of came to that conclusion. It's like, yeah, social media is the devil, but the damage has been done, sir. And it's
Right.
it's no fixing it. It's what it is. And it has made society terrible. And it has divided us to a point to where you have to go the slowest goddamn route to change anybody's mind. You have to befriend people.
Right.
Handle them
I've
with
known
kid
her
gloves.
since I was 19.
Caress their face.
Yeah.
Probably
Caress
give them a
them.
toke of your stuff and
If
just
you-
say, hey,
if
here's
you
the peace
can.
pipe.
There was that.
That was that.
Right? Yeah.
No,
you-
politics was always spoken over beer or weed.
right.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
So,
And
but the thing is,
I'm
not a lot of people are like
CBD.
us. Like, not a lot of people are, because he was born and raised in a small town. He in the army, he gets it.
Right.
Just gets it. You have to handle people with kid gloves. People don't want to hear that shit. People just want to be like, oh no, they're dumb as fuck, which I mean, they are. But it's
right.
That, there, when it-
There's a difference between Republican / conservative people and fascists. Like
Yeah.
you are lumping them all in one aspect. Where take my parents, for example.
But see-
My parents are straight conservative, like through and through. However, they're not Trump supporters. They did like some sort of write-in candidate from
Yeah.
Georgia or some fucking
they were the
shit.
Liz Cheneys.
Yeah, they were just like, I
Yeah.
don't actually believe
I can talk
in
to them.
how they don't believe in how he speaks or how he acts, but they still wanted to vote Republican because that was their political beliefs. So they found a way around it. And that's more of what we need to get to with
was
both of the
symbolic.
parties, was getting back to what the party actually
And
stands
look,
for
I was
and less
perfectly fine
about
with
the
that.
people that are running the party
A
at
lot
the
of
current
people were
moment.
upset, like, oh, people did. God, dude, fix your shit. I'm not dropping this motherfucker. Anyways, no, that's the thing. Like, people were upset about some of the Republicans that just wrote in names. I'm like, no. If you know actual Republicans, they would never vote for a Democrat. Ever
No,
in their
ever.
life. But the
No.
fact that they see this son of a bitch as a psychopath,
They're like, I'm not fucking
they're
voting
like,
for
no.
him either.
Like, I can't do that.
right.
Not to mention, if we also get like a vote, if we-
it affects it. It just cancels their vote out. So
Yeah.
it's not a vote for
Yeah.
them that typically probably would have went for them.
Right.
but if we could just get that ranked voting system in there, that would
The actual
be so much
voting
better.
system
An
minus
actual
the
voting
electoral
system,
college.
That would be amazing.
The American Idol voting system would be
You
pretty
text in
nice.
as many times as you
Text
It'd be
can.
amazing.
No. See,
Polls close at midnight.
my problem with that is that, I mean, yeah, they didn't vote for the big ticket guy or whatever, but even on the smaller level of it, the state level, a lot of them are using their influence to gerrymander the fuck
That's-
or vote restrict or
That's
do all
another
those
subject
things.
for another day.
And that,
another subject.
but that ultimately leads to the more evil heads getting the advantage. And when I think of this stuff, the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because it may not be for me, but it's life and death for a lot of people. And if you're just like, oh, I don't agree with them, but they're going to vote for the people that gerrymander to the point where a Republican will hold that office forever. And,
You know-
and
Gerrymandering is a political tactic. It is not tied to one party.
I was about to
Right.
say, you know who wrote a bill against gerrymandering? Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
right, but where did it go? Who listened to him?
Nobody in the
Right, because
Senate.
Ted Cruz fucking sucks.
A broke
That's
clock
right.
is right. Twice a day.
Ted Cruz is a dumb idiot. What I'm saying is, though, it's gotten to the point where they're not trying to play a fair game anymore, the other side.
It's so
in my
beyond
opinion.
not trying to play a fair game anymore.
so-
They haven't
We're
played a fair
playing
game since the
different games.
1800s.
And so there's no room for error, because even our two guys, the independents that caucus with the Democrats, even they're like, I want to follow the rules, when it's literally life and death for some people in some of these decisions. And you're from fucking, what's New Hampshire? One of those guys is from New Hampshire, right?
West Virginia.
West
West
Virginia.
Virginia.
What the
Yeah.
fuck does West Virginia have to do with the millions and millions of people that live in California that should have
Well,
more
that's
of a
the
fucking say?
problem with the whole system and the way it's set up. And then again,
but
yeah.
if the game is played like that, then we have to play it as ruthlessly as they play it.
No
Because
shit,
they will-
but you know
This is-
what?
but
This
we
is a
They're not
different
going to do
topic for
that.
a
Right.
different day.
But
Or we could change the game.
but the game as it's played now on social media, to bring it back, is not conducive to any of the ideals that you guys are talking about and want.
I mean,
none of it is conducive to. And
when it
I
comes-
agree with you guys, and I want what you guys want. I really do. But you have to think about what's real and what controls.
The thing
and what
is,
controls
this is our
money.
reality.
Right.
It's
But
it's act locally, think globally. Like that's
But-
what you have to do. You have to.
But even in our bubble, we're that, and we're not going to convince anybody outside of it.
I mean, I've definitely convinced people not to vote for Trump
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like even what Jessica was saying, that it was like there was a time where it was credible that Trump didn't like if in certain media bubbles that he didn't lose. The president himself was telling you at the very tippy top. Every media source that you read was saying it for like I'm going to give them a month, and then Dominion was like, no, I'm going to sue all of you that are saying this, and then that's when Tucker Carlson was like, we were just hypothesizing, we didn't say we thought it was like they were backtracking hard as fuck,
Right.
But for a good 3 weeks, like it
that
kind of
was their truth.
It still is.
yeah.
That was the quote unquote truth that was reported on their news sources.
But it ultimately isn't.
Man, TJ could have been on this. We didn't really talk
I know.
about it.
God damn, it's really good.
But ultimately, it wasn't. They were lied to, and they were lied to with impunity. Like they just were able to do it.
Here's my thing
and that's
about
It's not
that.
your fault if you're lied to, though.
Right, but it's the fault of the broadcasters, which is not a broadcasting one, but mostly Facebook is probably, it wouldn't be number 2, or just social media in general would be the number 2 of supporting those things, of being the supplement to. I
The
saw it on
algorithm
the,
said
I
they would
saw it
like
on
it.
the news.
I mean,
used to be the thing
you're-
that people would say. And now there's a whole other source where they can convince themselves in their mind that they researched it. And that will solidify their crazy alternate deviant thinking. So social media inherently, and this is unpopular, and I don't know how to do it right, I think should be more regulated. There's regulations for radio, there's regulations for television, what you can and cannot say, you can't cuss and things like that. I'm not saying regulate the internet, because that would cause chaos, and that's what China does, and that's nonsense. But social media or media platforms, there has to be some sort of guideline or something. And
So
the problem
here's-
is that I would say it'd be bipartisan. Just let me finish the thought. It should be bipartisan, but the bipartisan is so insane that neither one of them could get anything done.
So this is where we get into final thoughts.
Well, let's get into our commercial break.
Okay.
That way we can tell people to get mexmerch.com. We can refill our drinks and calm the fuck down. And that's mostly for me. So we'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Look out for the discount code, and we will be right back. Marcos, send us out. You missed it. You missed it, folks. There was a discount code there for those listening right now. You guys don't even get one because you're listening. You should be watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheMexcellence. And follow us on YouTube, The Mexcellence. And follow us on our archive, The Mexcellent Archive, or The Mexcellence Archive. Learn how to spell it. It's in the whatever you're looking at, however you're looking at this. It's spelled right there, so go find it. Search us in all the other places and stuff. But there was a discount from xmerch.com, so be sure to watch, and you'll find that discount code there. But
nice.
Marcos, bring us back now to the conclusion
Well,
ending portion of our show.
What was the last thing you said?
I don't like Ted Cruz.
No, before, the last thing.
I don't have a good memory. I say
Too many of those drinks.
Too many daiquiris, leftover daiquiris from last time.
So-
it's not a joke. We had Cinco de Mayo daiquiris.
So this idea actually came from one of my conservative friends, and the only person I knew who would actually disagree with me is not here, and that's TJ. But his...
what are you talking about? I'm TJ, and I disagree. That's how TJ talks to everybody. But anyway.
He thinks that social media has gotten too big, like in the sense that the genie is out of the bottle. There's no putting it back, and there's all sorts of ways that people try to regulate it. The system is trying to regulate itself, like fact checking, canceling websites,
Right.
And it's
Keeping
just
Trump off of it.
Keep your off of it, removal.
he has a vlog now, but
Which is embarrassing.
It
No
is.
80-year-old man should have a blog.
from the desk of Donald Trump. It's funny, but yeah, they're all trying to do that, but it comes back to what you were saying, which is, so this was actually a conservative friend that said this. It's like it's just a public utility now. It's like the light or the
Social media, Facebook or like the
all
internet.
social
All
media,
social media
all
in
social
general.
media. Like it's become another realm, like free speech, like newspapers or anything else. So
that's what we were talking about. Was whether social media companies should regulate the speech,
But they-
or
A
like
little
what
closer
was
to the
shown,
mic, just
or
to
what
hear
was
you.
shown. Regulation.
but so he's saying that it should just be seen as a public utility, so it's regulated by the government,
See,
and that would
But
mean
the government can't regulate it because that would be going against free speech.
Yeah.
right. So
you can regulate free speech. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater.
right. But
Can you not?
You
Oh,
can't.
shit.
You can't. You know, it's-
Good to know.
There go my Saturday plan.
right. And my problem with that is, well, it's multifaceted, which is, you just can't. If you guys aren't, if you're gonna play the game of not controlling corporations, then don't control corporations and or govern or govern them and make them pay taxes and shit broadly. Okay. The FCC, like for broadcasting, they have some rules and guidelines. A lot of them don't make much sense when you listen to comedians and things of what they'll allow. But there's certain guy like can't cuss before 10 certain words. You can't show this, and this. The internet, you can't do that too. You just can't. Social media, they have some of those things, no nudity, things like that.
But that's brought on by the companies themselves,
Right.
as we had in the Twitch discussion.
Right. But the problem, I think, is that there's such a distrust in government right now to say that if Biden were to come out tomorrow and be like, we're going to come up with a committee that makes sure that social media doesn't have fake news, then everyone's
It's like
they're going to go a murdering.
Clint Eastwood, but slower.
Yeah, they're going to go, but then the crazy people are going to go a murdering again because they're like, they're trying to
So-
control my government, even though it would be to their benefit. A lot of the things that
People
the people are
vote
doing.
against their own
A
interests
nice compromise.
more than they don't.
A nice compromise would just be a private third party who can
Yeah.
actually have the facts and
Well, that's what
resources
the
to
FCC
fact
is,
check.
but it's a weird thing where it's like. So my friend that said that was a conservative. And I'm like, I'm really surprised you said this, but it was like things like this aren't going to happen unless the other side happens. The other side says it. It's just the sick nature of the game.
Right.
So Trump passed more anti-gun legislation than Obama,
Right.
just because he has that R.
Right.
And Biden is going to pass more or less climate change bills or something
Right.
like that because he has the D and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like it's just the nature of the game, and it's sad, but that's how it works.
The only way anything would change is if you break the game down. Well, we have 5 legitimate candidates running, and it.
Well,
you have to have legit different.
I do think
sects
that
of-
we are wrong by only having 2 parties.
It's terrible. It's the dumbest system.
But here's the thing. Also, I think as for the check mark in the positive list of social media, you can now directly bully your politicians. You can cyberbully them. And I'm not saying go cyberbully individuals, but
Bullying works.
But Biden got cyberbullied into not allowing those low thresholds for migrants coming.
Yeah.
He was like, "We're gonna keep them low," and everyone's like, "Yo, fuck you!"
Yeah.
Our side went fucking crazy on him, which because our
Well, it
side
was
don't even
refugees,
like
I thought.
refugees, migrants.
They're different.
They're different, but
Yeah.
the idea
was
is they're
refugees.
not accepting as many people, and that was his thing. It's like we're gonna make sure there's no more kids in the camps.
Well,
I
I
get
think-
he has a tall task, but that was bad.
No,
and we
you're
called
right.
him out on it, and he changed it like that afternoon. He's malleable, and he thinks within the realm of humanity and people, which I cannot say for the other side.
Oh, no, they're digging deeper into the opposite
because the ones that
direction.
do,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate to say this,
They're being
but
censured.
Romney was like, yeah, he didn't win the election. He got booed by his own caucus.
Yeah.
What do you
no,
do in that
they were
situation?
they were very quick to like turn on their
But
own
what?
people.
But what do you do when even
When
the-
people don't accept that, the perfect example that I heard, the day, then this is again why I'm so just like, really none of this matters.
Right.
Which I'm not gonna say that at the beginning of the show.
everything's fake, nothing's real.
Kind of.
The birds work for the
Because-
bourgeoisie.
Here's the thing that I realized, the epiphany I had. People right now don't believe that water is wet and the sky is blue. Simple goddamn fact.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's black.
Simple.
Right now.
Don't do that, Marco. They're too fragile. They'll fly right into that.
that.
You shut your mouth
It's the
right now.
refraction of the.
No, you joke.
It's-
No, but he jokes. But there have been elected officials that say it's snowing outside, therefore global warming doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that they said, Jess. I know you're
That
laughing.
is a whole nother podcast.
Hey,
know.
That is a
at the
whole nother
point they're not. It used to be a standard. Even with Bush, there was a standard of just.
And even barely. Because
Barely.
Cheney had no
Well,
standard.
Cheney was an evil son.
Bush was a dummy.
Yeah,
An
but it
evil
was
dummy,
still.
but
But
dummy.
it was still a standard to where it's just like, we would never cross this line. We'll start a goddamn war, but we ain't crossing. That's there. That's
Right.
not here. We're not crossing this line.
Fucking McCain. As much
Actually like
as much
McCain.
as much as I don't agree
I didn't
with,
believe in his politics.
yeah,
but
as much as I disagree with
liked.
him, right? When that lady was like, Obama's a Muslim crazy person, he's like, no, he's a fine gentleman. We just he's not a Muslim, he's not a terrorist. We
As
just
a
disagree.
gentleman
politically.
should.
Yeah.
Right.
The man was a gentleman.
Yeah.
And near the end of his life, they crucified him.
Trump still talks about him. The man's dead.
I mean,
It's
Right.
fucked up.
Right.
And you know what? A million more people support Trump than would ever have supported John McCain.
Right.
It's where we are, dude. These people see an opportunity to dial the shit back. I feel like if slavery was back on the table, they'd be like, yes, please. I guarantee you.
Right.
They're trying to take this shit so far back to that too. It's acceptable to be a hateful fucking racist. It's
Yeah.
okay. You know why it's okay? We're not going to teach our kids history. Slavery, 2 chapters, 1 week. Get it done.
it's all right,
in and
dude.
out.
I'm going to
It's
share a
over.
video from The Watchmen about the Tulsa, what happened in Tulsa.
I learned it from the Watchmen, Marco.
That's a real thing.
That's a real
He learned
thing.
about Tulsa.
That's fucked up.
He was like, man, this is
You
awful.
learned about Tulsa from the Watchmen?
From the Watchmen. I have a LaGrange education, Jess.
Okay, yeah,
It was
yeah.
literally a week.
Oh,
And it went from
no.
slavery, Monday and Tuesday, Martin Luther King, Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday was a free day because it was Friday. And that
feel
was
like
it.
The next podcast should be the American public
Tulsa-
school system.
Oh, God. It's-
Tulsa, for Fresno County's California's glorious public education, was a paragraph. I remember it because I was like, that sounds more
More than
intense
what I
than it
got.
should be. I like in my brain, I remember like that sounds way awful. But why can't we?
You're
learn
like
more?
flipping the back
right?
of
You're
the
like,
what?
I guess that's all I need to know about
Holy
it. Was
shit,
that there was
okay.
there was a bomb
Yeah.
in Tulsa.
Planes
not,
flew over.
Not the government did it.
No.
Just
Billy
say-
Bob did it. Billy Bob got in his crop plane and bombed
Every-
an independent black town.
Everybody has ideas of history. Oklahoma just made it that in order to get your high school diploma, you have to pass a citizenship test. Does that really make it history? I'm not entirely sure. But
The citizenship test is like, do you like America?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thomas
Actually,
Jefferson
I thought most
good.
Americans wouldn't
Question
wanna
mark.
murder
most
America?
Americans
Yeah,
can't
most
fail,
Americans
can't
can't pass it.
because you have
we
to
don't
name
know
the
enough.
you have to name
School
the
system is the education system's got to be the next
because
section.
you have to name the presidents in, after Lincoln and before Roosevelt.
I'm fucked.
After Lincoln, before Roosevelt. All
Were
right.
there presidents?
In order, I'm just gonna name them. Okay, What number? Help me. What number was Abraham Lincoln?
I don't know the numbers. I
What
just
number?
know who they are.
I don't know.
That
I'm
is like
throwing
the
out
time
a
with the-
random number.
Those presidents nobody
Is it
knows.
Okay, Lincoln.
That's
to
a
who?
Jeopardy question.
What?
I'm
Lincoln
going
to
with
who? What was
12
the
or
other
8 for
To Roosevelt.
500,
Teddy.
Bob.
To Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I'm gonna say
Taylor's one.
I'm gonna,
I
I'm
think.
gonna say Taylor.
Taylor's not.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that. He said it.
Woodrow.
I'm gonna
Wilson,
say Woodrow Wilson, James Cole
Garfield.
Polk,
Coolidge.
both Garfield both times.
Polk was not there.
No.
Taft. I'm having trouble naming presidents, let alone
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. She's gonna get there. Let me see. God damn, I'm gonna look this up now. I'm embarrassed now.
It's Johnson.
No, you shouldn't be embarrassed. 'cause
Garfield.
It's very difficult. I just
That's
knew
the majority of Americans.
Garfield
I knew
lasted like a
Garfield was
month
in
and then
there.
he got shot.
I couldn't put
I
them in
forgot
order.
we had a Garfield as a president.
Right?
He's more than a cat, you know.
I know Grover Cleveland was there twice.
Grover Cleveland.
'Cause
Was
he
he's
the
got
one that was
sweet,
only there
sweet
for a
mustache.
month?
Oh, he got his jaw like halfway removed. These guys are
Oh,
kind of
shit.
interesting, actually. Fucking Woodrow Wilson was one no one liked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Huh,
a piece
give
of
us the
shit.
fucking names.
What was the story about how Lincoln got, or it was Washington or Lincoln, about how he got his like wooden teeth? I feel like there was like
Oh,
a.
it was Washington, and he doesn't have wooden teeth. That's a lie, so that you don't hear that they're from his slaves.
That's what it was. That's what it
Alright,
was.
let's go ahead and
I
take
was
a
like,
look.
he got it from a weird place.
Let's take a look here. So we got Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes. I forget he exists. Garfield, Chester A. Arthur does not deserve to be a president just by his name alone. He's
Yeah, that's
Look
the
at
one
all
everyone figures
Grover
out.
Cleveland.
William McKinney.
Benjamin Harrison. I forget about him. Grover Cleveland again said, "Fuck it, I'm coming back, baby." McKinley,
Yeah.
and then Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh my God.
I was right with Grover Cleveland.
Whoa, is that say Benjamin Harrison?
Benjamin Harrison.
Who the fuck is that? I didn't know that was even a president that existed in life.
Like,
Could you imagine being that dude?
so Hoover.
He obviously didn't do anything.
So Hoover was
Clearly
in
not.
high school. Delano Roosevelt, Truman.
Wait, click on him. Let's
Those
learn
are-
more
those are
about
easy.
him.
we got, yeah.
Benjamin
him-
Harrison. Let's see.
He had to be a
Benjamin
piece of shit. Oh my God.
Oh,
No,
he
it
was
isn't.
there for 8
Here's-
years.
yeah, he was an 8-term
Oh
president.
shit!
Are you
no, that's-
kidding
no, no,
me?
No, that was. No, that
was
was
a
his
two-term
That was his
president.
year. That was his how many president years?
2 terms.
If they say he was like the most
89,
progressive
90,
president
91,
back
92. No,
then,
it was
I'm-
4 years.
Okay.
That was his.
I
how
have to
long he
learn more
lived.
about him now because if he
Oh.
was legit, someone has to give the man credit. But
All
if,
right.
if he sucked, then I'm never going to tell anyone he exists because they
All right.
won't know one way or the other.
Let's see. Let's take a look here.
What did he
Benjamin
do?
Harrison was born in 1833 in North Bend, Ohio, to a prominent family and had a legacy of political activism. After all, he was the grandson of the nation's 9th president, William Henry Harrison, raised on a farm adjacent to his grandfather's
Who
vast
the fuck
estate.
is William? Was he a president also?
That makes sense.
So he's a second generation?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my God.
He was a lawyer. He was a Republican in that time. Kid Gloves Harrison, Little Ben was his
It
nicknames.
is an unofficial royal family.
President number 23. Yep, Benjamin Harrison.
That told me nothing.
See, that's why we don't know him. It's because nobody likes you when you're 23. I'll see myself out now. Thank you.
Yes, that's it for the show. Bye. I want to go back to this list though. Like, yeah, Grant we've heard of,
Oh.
Cleveland we've heard of, Chester A. Arthur I forgot completely.
But I knew he actually existed.
No, I didn't know
Sammy.
Chester A. Arthur. If you were to say list them, he'd never made it. Taft, I would have probably forgot. McKinley, I would have definitely
Yeah,
forgot.
McKinley.
Mount
I
McKinley.
forget
That's how I
about.
know that.
Yeah, and then we got
Again, but I know they
Biden,
existed.
Bushes, Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford.
Oh,
I would often
Jimmy.
forget too.
Well,
Gerald-
he never got voted in.
That's right. Yes, which is why I forgot him. Johnson's around here in Texas, so I'm done with that. Eisenhower, Truman, Roosevelt,
Dude,
wartime.
he passed so much civil rights
Hoover.
He did.
legislation.
He didn't want to, but he did it. That's why I was
No,
okay
he
with
did
him.
want to do it, but he was racist the entire time.
That's what I'm saying.
He was
was a
like,
racist-
people are going to see me as a great person. Fuck those people.
yeah. Like even the
But he
early ones.
did it. He gritted his teeth and he
The
did that
epitome
shit.
of don't give a shit about.
He
your
was the
family.
He
Archie
just wants
Bunker
to be
of
remembered,
presidents.
and he's not actually remembered as the
No.
civil rights. I think going back to social media educated people, they think JFK did it, and it's like, no, that dude was dead.
Yeah, he was gone already.
Zachary Taylor, I forget he existed. John Tyler, forget he existed. There's
So it's
William
another.
Harrison.
Okay, did not know that
The
cat
ninth.
existed.
Grandfather, Jesus Christ.
Milford Millard Fillmore is probably the one you would forget too.
Fillmore. Buchanan's cool. Pierce is
Fillmore.
I remember
fine.
Fillmore from the cartoon.
President Fillmore.
Right?
The cartoon made me
That's what
remember
social
him.
media's
Yeah.
done with us. We're like, President Fillmore, we won't vote for that stupid name. Biden's a cool name.
Oh, he's gonna be forgotten as fuck if we.
Barack is a cool name.
Obama.
Hell,
But here's also what social media is doing. We can make Fillmore trend.
we could make a meme out of it.
Oh,
It'd
we
be like
could.
Fillmore
butts.
better.
That would be it, Jeff.
That's a lot.
Fillmore
Y'all
better.
are
That would
on
be
the complete opposite sides. There.
God, Fillmore. Yeah, I'm 12th, that's why. I'm the 12th president. Who is the 12th president? Fucking Zachary Taylor. I wouldn't have known
Oh.
that. I wouldn't have known that. But,
Clever. Yeah.
anything to wrap us
Good
up, man?
Lord.
Because we went
No,
off the
it was
rails.
good. No, it was good that it was so tense the entire episode, and we're laughing
Oh,
like
that's how this-
that.
we
Apparently,
can-
we
we
can't
can
graduate
operate.
from Oklahoma.
Great to know my bachelor's degree doesn't mean shit over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Nothing.
Don't even have a GED.
That's that UC Santa Barbara Go Gauchos don't know any of the presidents. Because fuck it, why would I care?
What?
Oh, I'm gonna go home and look up. What was his name? Grant Harrison.
You already forgot his name.
I already forgot about him. As quick as it was there.
Benjamin.
Okay,
President
I was-
23.
I was about to say
Okay, there you go. The Michael Jordan president.
you combine two presidents. You combine Ulysses S. Grant and Harrison into Grant Harrison is what you did right
Yeah.
now.
But I didn't know Grant Harrison exists. Wait, is it? I'm already
Benjamin.
confused.
Benjamin Harrison.
No, Benjamin Harrison and his great grandfather was William Henry
Where
Harrison.
did I get Grant from?
Ulysses S.
Oh God damn it.
Feel
I'm
like we're
sorry,
going
guy.
through
I'm sorry, Benny.
flashcards.
I'm not gonna remember you after I leave this room.
I want Woodrow Harding. This is what I'm Woodrow Harding. Calvin
Harding-
Kennedy. Hell yeah. Let's do
Harding has one of the dumbest quotes that I ever heard of, where it's just like, "I'm just like a fish. No matter what happens, I never sweat."
Oh no, he's the one everyone hated, Harding also.
it.
Yeah.
Who was the one that died immediately?
Garfield? No,
Garfield.
the one that ate
Wait.
too many cherry pits. I don't.
I don't know if that was that.
Is that what happened?
yeah, he.
Oh,
They
man.
choked on
Oh, that
cherry
cherry-
pits?
No, cherries are
Oh.
poisonous if you eat too many of them.
Oh, yeah, that's
What we got?
right.
William Henry Harrison was the one. He was the oldest. On his 20. Oh no, he was the first to. Oh yeah, the 32nd day he became the first to die in office, serving the shortest tenure in U.S. presidency.
Well, hey, at least it's a reason why I don't remember him.
yeah,
His son, or his grandson, there's no excuse.
yeah, military ninth president.
Yeah, so much for a legacy. What?
Oh,
30
that
Didn't
legacy
even make
died.
it a month.
32 days. No, he made it a month.
Yeah,
depending on
One
what
month.
His furniture hadn't even moved in yet.
He couldn't pick any cabinet members.
Oh,
He didn't even have time
William
to
Henry
decorate his
Harrison.
desk.
Who elected you?
You fool.
What? So he was.
What'd he die of?
what-
Oh, eating too many
ninth?
cherry pits.
I don't know.
Jeez, how many
Give him a
cherries
barrel
did
and
he
hard
eat?
cider and settle a pension of $2,000 a year on him. And what the fuck? Give him a barrel of hard cider and settle a pension of $2,000 a year on him. And my word for it, a Democratic newspaper foolishly gibed, he will sit by the side of the sea coal fire and study moral philosophy. The fuck does that even mean?
I have
See,
no idea.
It's really deep if you
If you're high enough.
if you check your social media.
Somebody put that on Twitter.
I bet that would have gotten 1,000 retweets.
Oh my god.
Someone, that would be actually funny if somebody like disguised themselves as like one of those kind of hipster poets or something and just retweeted fucking
Random quotes.
random old quotes,
Like,
that
just to
make
see how many
no
likes
sense.
and how many like that's some deep shit. Like he got.
I
want to
see how they interpret it. Like, what do you think this means?
oh my god. Well,
That's an
I mean-
experiment.
I'm pulling out the calendar because
Yeah.
we're going to. Anybody got anything else left to say about social media and politics?
social media is a farce. Quit if you know it's good for you, but if you're not gonna, send me your dankest memes because that is where I use social media for. If it were my choice, I would just talk about the memes that I get on Facebook, which actually are progressively getting worse. Facebook is an old person platform now.
Social
Yeah, you gotta get that
media
TikTok.
is- Yeah.
But here's the funny thing about TikTok. I went on TikTok, and we're going to be on TikTok. Follow us at The Excellence. It is so loud. It was the first time in my life I was like, this children are too loud. I don't know what's going
startling.
on.
you need
They
to
were
get through your
crazy.
For You page. You need to get that algorithm.
No,
warmed
but they
up,
were just
man.
like TikToking and dancing and lip syncing and talking
Not
about
until
little
you-
waist, pretty face with the. I see those on Instagram all the time, and it's like it's butts. So the algorithm's like he wants to see more butts, and it's like yes, I do, but it's not good for me. I don't
still
need that.
say
I'll just-
the best social media was Vine. And TikTok is about the closest thing you're going to get. But
Vine is
TikTok is
so
even turning
great.
into like a very toxic place.
Vine had
Yeah.
there's no time for politics on Vine. It was just get in,
There
get
is
out.
politics
Dude,
on
you
TikTok.
couldn't. You can't talk about politics in 6
No,
seconds.
right.
That
you
was
just have to bring the
beauty
funny
of it.
and you're out.
You're right, exactly. I think that we
Trump
should
would do it.
Oh, God. He can ruin anything.
Yeah.
say the N-word 6 times.
Make America great again is something you can say in 6 seconds.
Oh, Tom said, I told the needle has moved again. So, yeah, it's no going back to like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. We're in a very dire place. The end is nigh. That's my final thought.
Damn, social media left.
Social media
Led to the
has done this
apocalypse
to
for
me.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Well,
He's not wrong.
but while you're using social media, follow
Oh no!
follow the Excellence, follow the Scene Countdown, follow us. We'll get into that in a second. Just wanted to give a preview to next week. Monday, we're going to be the last horse.
Do we not have any more shows this week?
No, dude, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
I got to play some Apex for you guys. The new season's out, so I might jump on there for you guys.
All right, so that's just him randomly playing video games. He's good at it, I think. The new rules kind of suck, though.
There's a new thing. I'll figure it out.
Other than that, if you want to see us again, Monday we're doing. We're going to be the last to review Invincible, but I heard it's pretty great.
You haven't started it at all.
No.
Think. That's all I know is there's a meme where they go, think. Because he beats the shit. No spoilers.
Don't spoil anything.
I said he and beats.
Tuesday at 11, on the 11th, we'll be back in the studio doing another Scene Countdown.
What's that scene
Oh.
countdown?
Top 5 things that we're looking for post-COVID, now that we're all vaccinated.
Licking doorknobs is number 1. Sorry for spoiling it, folks. That's my number 1.
If you record him licking a doorknob, please add it to TikTok.
We will. We will.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I got a little tense, but we brought a little
Why
funny
are you
towards the end.
apologizing for being truthful to ourselves? Don't you ever do that.
I mean, I
you
know
can
you're
find me
not
at the-
supposed to, but there's a lot of intensity in the air.
You can find
I
me at the
thought
Excellence
it
on
was
all
a very
forms.
nice conversation.
See,
Okay.
Jess knows, and you can find me because she also knows this on all forms of social media at the Mexcellence. That's TheMexCellence. Follow us everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, podcast platforms, SoundCloud, Spotify, all of that. Tommy, where can they find
See, I
you?
didn't mention in this, since social media, it's one that I actually do like, and it's Instagram, which is where you can find me at TommyMcGrew_art.
Where can they find you, Marcos?
By typing JLMarco62 into anything, and I'll pop up. Be sure that if you go to MexMarch to use the coupon Tommy's T-shirt, apparently.
It's not up yet. I'll do it tonight if I remember.
Last but not least,
Do you want them
Oh.
to find you, Jess? Because last time
Well.
they did, they asked for feet pics.
Well, I can block them now. I found out how. So,
the block button.
yep. So you can find me at Legend of Jessica on Instagram or JMParker95 on Venmo. Thank you.
Oh.
Damn, Venmo.
It's one of them's advertisements.
I got to start saying that.
You can find me and the Sexcellence on OnlyFans. One night only.
One night only.
His feet were rated like 7 out of 10 or something.
God damn it. Break my feet. They're 17s. I should at least be in the BBW category of feet. That's a weird way to end this show, but that's how we're doing it. Take us to the commercials, Marcos. Bye, everybody. Hold on. Let me play the theme song
yeah.
before we get out of here because we got to play the theme song. It's very quick.
Taco,
there it
taco.
is.